Water shortage that hit their communities in recent days. Residents of Sanchaba, Nema, Aboko, Wellingara and Sinchu have been battling with lack of water and electricity for a week. To know what is responsible for the water and electricity outage, we spoke to Nawec officials who blame the situation on cuts in the power cables. Details in this report.
Electricity shortage is becoming a norm for Gambians, especially for those living in urban areas. Residents express frustration in the seemingly unending crisis as taps and meters run dry without seeing a single drop of water for days. Fatou Sise, a resident in Aboko Sanchaba, said they have been coping with a lack of water and electricity for 3 days.
We have both water and electricity issues. For 3 days now, we haven't had water and electricity. As you can see, this water is what we use to drink, cook, and also have our baths. Just imagine using such a kind of water to cook food for people to eat. We have really tried. Hence, the Barrow government has the power to change the situation. Let him help us with Nawec so that they can bring back the water and electricity.
The government of the Gambia on multiple occasions pledged to provide stable water and electricity supply, but for many Gambians, that is a dream that will never come true. Adam Afai said their children are not in school for the past few days due to the shortage of water.
Our kids are not going to school and many will say water is life. They bathe, launder and drink with filthy water. Even this Dara here, they travel all the way to Wellingara just to find water. Seriously, this is very bad. Others don't even want to cook with the filthy water from the well because it is not hygienic. Just take a look at this well in this compound. It is so dry.
Farmer BI says their parents are paying water bills which they never utilize.
This is not a one-day issue. This has been going on for a long time now. Our mothers and fathers will pay for the taps to be fixed in our homes, but water will never come out of it. Or sometimes water is available around 3 in the morning. Honestly, this cannot continue. At times, you'll have to cut our sleeps just to fetch water before daybreak. And when the month ends, Nawec officials will still come with bills that you have never utilized. It is not good at all.
Many projects and funds have been pumped into water and electricity related issues, but the crisis persists. Benedict Jaju, Quality and Standard Manager working with the Transmission and Distribution Department of Nawec, explains the reason behind the outrage.
During the last 2 days, we had a bird strike, and this bird was still secured on the line. So, and normally when our lines trip, we do test 2 to 3 times to establish whether it is a permanent or a transient fault. Because you can have transient faults, that is in the when a bird or any object touches the line temporarily. This fault can be a transient fault. It's a fault that is not permanently on the network. So this was a transient fault, and we had to, during this trial test, there were a lot of damages on the cables, and we had to replace them. There were almost 3 to 4 spans of cable line that we had to replace.
Mr. Jaju stated the company will use other means to provide water to residents.
Electricity is connected with water, and on this same feeder we have our boreholes, and we have almost 6 to 7 boreholes along the Wellingara enclavement. These boreholes, without electricity, they cannot pump water into the system. But most of our boreholes are also provided with standby generators, so that when we have any issues of network, then they can be on their standby to make sure that water is always available.
Amid all grants and loans gathered by the Gambia government on solving water and electricity issues, its shortage continued to be a nightmare to several communities in the small West African nation. Recent data showing the loans and grants obtained on the President Barrow-led government reveals that the World Bank gave Nawec $41 million grant for the electricity restoration and modernization project in 2018 alone. And in October 2017, Nawec received a $45 million grant from the International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation, a member of the Islamic Development Bank Group. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.